Hey people, um, I'm going to kind of like have a break off YouTube for a little bit, but I do like to talk about this. I just want to talk about religion in ways, um, um, what else? I'm not, what I'm about to say, people, the human race themselves, um, twist, you know, made religion practically turned something good to evil. And people being twisting religion to twisting it into an evil thing. I've been seeing this my whole life with religion in itself. Um, how cults and different religions can make a good religion evil. Um, you can say the same about Christians and 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 all sorts of religions too. Um, my God made laws for us to know what's right and wrong. Um, and and he taught me very much well. Well, murder is wrong, and offending yourself is right. And and the and I same for the most horrific things have been happening in the world, like through the years and through the age. Um, how people can be so cruel upon people, and where where God gave us rules, where God gave us rules, like like as a Christian myself, like shall not steal, shall not commit adultery, shall not commit all these blasphemy things, and it kind of like makes me very terrible because I'd done some of those things, and I stole when I was a kid, and I will be judged. And I stole when I was a kid, when I was a teenager, and I just knew it was very much terrible. And you learn from the mistakes what you do, and it makes you wiser. Like stealing is wrong. It is true, and it hurts people when you steal something from somebody. And I'd done that, and God gave me the tools and the rules, you know, shall not steal. Like, and this is where people commit horrible acts and annoy God's teaching. Like, and it's really sad how the world is becoming, like, and it's very sad to see how it's so much evil and so much corruption upon the world and so much greed. And like, all this stuff in my room, I didn't got it in one day. Like, it took time. It didn't came from, oh, well, I think some of the stuff came from greed, but um but I learned from that too, because greed can lead to um for you to miss out on things and to survive on things. Like, it was one time I brought something a little bit expensive, and we have to be left without certain things, and I learned from that. And yeah, it's quite cool. I got a God like that who gave me rules, and he gave me his commandments in the Ten Commandments. And I learned, I always follow the Old Testament too, and I always follow the New Testament. And yeah, like some of my stuff I brought came from greed. Some, not a lot. A lot of all the stuff I got, like, um, and this is more or less like to tell you a video about myself, but like, it's just like, it just kind of like tells you how greedy and how evil people can be. But I felt that myself in certain ways, and it's really disgusting. Like, I'm not as righteous as what I'm not as righteous. I'm not. I can't say I'm a good person, but I can't say I'm a beautiful person. Like, I done things I could not take back, and it leaves scars. And it's just like, when I become more wiser from all this knowledge I've been learning about my world, and I came more closer to my God, and I kind of like became a bit more self-aware. Still, I still muck up here and there, but yeah, like, my goal is to be pure, like a child in a way, but still smart, and still to think like a man, but to be like pure as a child. Like, Jesus says, like, children are pure in the mind. And that's been one of my greatest wishes from Jesus. And I never take that for granted. Like, if you ever grant me that wish for me just to become pure, like, I'll be so happy. And God, my God, and this is practically a real big miracle too. Like, I pray to God, and I always pray for the right things. I don't pray for like greedy stuff. Like I pray for glory. I want glory. I want fame. Like I don't pray for that crap, man. That's stupid. God doesn't listen to listen to that kinds of stuff. Like the things what you should be praying for, not the greedy things. Like pray for the right things. Like for me, um, I prayed to God. God, I want to learn to read. With your power, can you please grant me that wish into myself, and you can give me the knowledge to read. Like now, if you would have met me ages ago, I could not even read a single sentence. But I'm still learning. Still learning. Each day I am learning to read. And it seems like God gave me my wish, but He didn't give it to me just like you're going to learn how to read just like that, but it's going to take time. And yeah, like I don't pray for greedy things. Like it was one time, me and my mum were homeless, and I said to God, like, please, can you give us a house to live in? And about a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks later, we got a house. We were happy and warm and comfort in our own home. Like I always pray the right things, and I don't pray for wrong things. Like I always pray stuff like this. Like I wish of all the suffering in the world will just disappear, and all the darkness would disappear. I always wish that would be like a miracle to me if I see that in a heartbeat. Like my history with my God is it's been a very, very great adventure. Like it's like I'm trying to be a good man and a good human being. Like I say, I've done a lot of wrong things. I lie, I stole, I hurt. And there's some things you can't take back. But you learn from your mistakes, and it's like when you learn from your mistakes, you think before you do now. Like that's what happens when you learn from your mistakes. You learn for what you do, and the bad things what you do, you learn from what you do. It's like I just wish kind of like people can relate to what I think, because I was a thief when I was a kid, and why I thieved when I was a kid and when I was a teenager, I was so pissed off I didn't had everything what everybody had, and I just practically stole from shops and here and there. and just lied to get myself out of trouble in certain things, not telling the truth. And yeah, and hurting people who I love. And I don't want to really dive into that. It's like really painful. And yeah, like it's like it's like the old saying, do not take life for granted. You know, treat life as an adventure, and treat life as like you're in the moment. Like, I live my life in the moment with my God and with my mum, and I live my life in the moment with Jesus Christ and God and my mother too, because if it wasn't for my mum, I wouldn't have been born. And my mum, in a way, is very much important. She's been very much important to me my whole life, and we've been through a lot. We've been homeless about that many times, and yeah, like we had, even, believe it or not, I believe the hard times were the happy times. Like, my mum, when we used to be homeless, and when we were homeless, we were living in a car for like months. And I don't really want to explain the whole story of it. It's private. It was one time, it was cold, it was the middle of winter, and I was like freezing, and my mum threw like one of her jackets on me when we were in a car. She kept me warm for the whole night, cuddling me, comforting me. You know, when you get older, man, you start thinking a lot of things, man. You start getting wise. You start thinking like adult things. And I do like to say one thing about my mum. Thank you. Like, very, very, very much. And my mum, like, we had our fights, we had our predicaments and shit like that, but she was still the best, and she never left my side, even through my darkest days and stuff like that. And I just hope my mum will get well, and yeah. And well, the video is about to come to an end, and I will see you all soon, because I'm about to have a break. And I hope you like and subscribe, and I hope you all have a good one. And I will see you all soon.